Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today, we're going on a journey to unlock some serious potential. We're talking a roadmap for the next 20 years. Goals, resilience, and finding your tribe. Those people who just get you.
That's like taking the wheel,
Yeah.
not just letting life happen. And it all starts with a vision, a crystal clear vision of what those next 2 decades look like for you.
Okay, so this isn't just daydreaming,
Hmm.
right? It's about asking the big questions. What impact do you want to leave? What kind of legacy will you create?
Well, it's about purpose, really. It's not just about hitting those success milestones. It's about those core values, your passions, your strengths, and then weaving them into a future that makes you excited to wake up every morning.
And that excitement, I think, is key. It's the fuel. But here's the thing, right? Having a vision without action, that's like having a car with no engine. It's not going anywhere.
Exactly, you need both. The vision's the destination, but action is the journey. It's those daily choices you make that align with that vision.
So how do you bridge that gap? Say you have this massive goal. It feels overwhelming. Like, I don't know, you want to lose weight and feel amazing. That's a great goal, but where do you even start?
Break it down. Instead of just saying, I want to lose weight, set a SMART goal. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So you might say, I'm going to lose 15 pounds in the next 6 months. And then you break that down further. What are the milestones? What are the daily habits that get you there?
Like a roadmap, with those checkpoints clearly marked, makes the journey feel manageable. Maybe it's hitting the gym 3 times a week. Or choosing healthy meals. Even just taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Each little step, they add up.
And celebrate those small wins. Each milestone, no matter how tiny, it fuels your motivation.
This is where it gets interesting, though. Imagine having someone by your side, cheering you on every step of the way. They get your struggles, celebrate your victories, and hold you accountable.
That's your accountability partner, like a built-in support system. They remind you of your potential even when you start to doubt yourself.
We're not meant to do this alone, are we? And speaking of not being alone, let's talk about finding your tribe.
It's amazing how powerful that is. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals can really accelerate your growth. These are the people on a similar journey. They understand your goals, and they support you unconditionally.
That shared energy, sense of belonging, it's a collective push towards a better future.
Think about it this way. When you're surrounded by those striving for growth, passionate about learning, making a positive impact, you can't help but be inspired, motivated to do the same.
Like a team, right? Cheerleaders, mentors, friends, all rolled into one. And you know what? I think it helps build resilience too.
Absolutely, because life, well, it throws curveballs, right? You're going to face setbacks and challenges that test you. Having that supportive tribe makes all the difference.
Like a safety net. Those people catch you when you fall and help you back up.
And it's not just about having them there for the tough times. It's about celebrating together, sharing those wins, knowledge and experiences. You push each other to reach new heights.
That collective energy, it lifts you higher than you thought possible.
Okay, so we've talked about having a vision, taking action, finding support, building resilience. But there's another piece here. Continuous learning.
You got it. Learning isn't just about classrooms. It's about being thirsty for knowledge, that curiosity. That's what fuels your growth.
It's recognizing that the world's your classroom. Learn from books, conversations, your own experiences, everything.
And we have so much information at our fingertips now, more than ever. We've got countless resources and experts. We can learn and grow in ways that we never even imagined before.
So how do we cultivate that learning mindset? Where do we even begin?
It starts by knowing your passions. What are you curious about? What gets you excited? Makes you want to dig deeper? It could be a new language, a new skill, a whole field of study.
That's such a good point. When you're passionate, learning's an adventure, not a chore.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to push your boundaries. Challenge yourself. Explore different viewpoints. Talk to people who think differently than you. Embrace that lifelong learning journey. All right, so we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive, haven't we? We talked about setting a clear vision, taking those massive action steps, breaking down the goals, finding a partner to keep you accountable, building a supportive tribe, and embracing that continuous learning.
We have, and there's one more piece. It's crucial to this whole journey. Self-compassion.
Self-compassion. Tell me more about that.
It's about treating yourself the way you'd treat a good friend, with kindness and understanding. Recognizing that you're human, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay.
So it's like cutting ourselves a break, not being so hard on ourselves.
Yeah, it's not about lowering your standards or settling for mediocrity. It's about creating a safe space internally where you can learn and grow without constantly judging yourself.
Makes sense. We put so much pressure on ourselves, don't we? To be perfect, to achieve, to succeed. And when we don't, we beat ourselves up.
And that kind of negative self-talk, it can be so damaging. It erodes your confidence, sabotages your efforts, and keeps you stuck in that cycle of doubt.
So how do we cultivate self-compassion? How do we shift from that inner critic to a more supportive voice?
It starts with awareness. Notice when you're being harsh to yourself, then try to reframe those thoughts in a more compassionate way.
So instead of like, I'm so stupid, I can't believe I did that, it's more, okay, I messed up, we all do, what can I learn from this?
Exactly. You'd offer that understanding to a friend, right? Do the same for yourself.
That's a powerful shift. You know, I think self-compassion is also about celebrating your strengths, recognizing your accomplishments.
Absolutely. It's about seeing how far you've come, acknowledging those challenges you've overcome, the progress you've made, giving yourself credit where it's due.
It's appreciating you for you, flaws and all. And I think that's a great message to end this first part of our deep dive on.
Remember, you are capable of amazing things. The power to create an extraordinary life is within you. It all starts with believing in yourself, embracing your strengths, and being kind to yourself along the way.
Take a moment, appreciate how far you've come, acknowledge your potential, and get ready for even more insights and strategies in the next part of our deep dive. All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready to keep unlocking that extraordinary potential? Last time, we laid the groundwork. Vision, action, resilience, and that self-compassion thing, which is so important. But now, what about what we don't do?
Inaction. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's not just the absence of doing something. It's a force in itself, like an anchor holding you back.
So it's not just what we do, but what we don't do.
Yeah.
Like we're always making a choice to step forward or stay stuck.
Precisely. And that cost of inaction, missed opportunities, unfulfilled dreams, a life that feels, well, smaller than it could be.
Okay, that's a wake-up call for sure. So how do we break free from that feeling of being stuck?
You have to recognize it first, right? Become aware. You're not just a passenger. You're at the helm. You have the power to steer.
Take responsibility. Not blaming things on circumstances, but realizing we're the ones in control.
Exactly. And once you've got that control, you need a plan. Remember those big, audacious goals. The ones that make your heart race a little.
Oh yeah, they can feel overwhelming. Like staring out at this vast ocean. Where do you even start?
That's where breaking down those goals is key. You turn that massive ambition into smaller, bite-sized steps. Think of it as plotting a course. You mark those milestones along the way.
Love that. Instead of trying to conquer the entire ocean at once, you chart the course, island by island. Makes it feel less daunting.
Right. And those milestones, they're not just points on a map, they're celebrations. Every single one you hit, it fuels your motivation. Like, remember the weight loss example? Imagine hitting that halfway point. That's a win.
It's like when you're on a long hike and you reach the top of a hill, you get that amazing view. It reminds you why you started. Gives you that boost to keep going.
Exactly. And speaking of keeping going, finding your tribe, that can really boost your momentum too.
Ah, the tribe. Those people who just get you. They understand your ambitions, support your dreams, and they push you to be better.
That's the power of it. It's not just about celebrating together, it's that collective energy. It lifts you up, pushes you further than you thought possible.
It's like having a crew, all rowing in the same direction, weathering the storms together, and then celebrating those victories as a team.
It's amazing how transforming it can be, that sense of community. Ideas flow, challenges seem smaller, your motivation just goes through the roof. Think about it. When you're surrounded by people who are passionate about growth, learning, making a difference, you can't help but get swept up in that.
It's like a rising tide, right? Lifts all boats. But finding your tribe can be tricky. It's like searching for a hidden island.
It can feel that way. But here's the good news. There are islands of like-minded people everywhere. Start by exploring communities related to what you love. Go to workshops, conferences, even online forums. Find the people who share your interests.
Put yourself out there. Be open to connecting, and trust that they're out there waiting to welcome you in. Speaking of exploration, continuous learning. That's another key ingredient.
Absolutely. It's not just about gathering knowledge. It's feeding your curiosity, getting new perspectives, embracing the journey of growth.
It's like constantly upgrading the navigation system on your ship, right? You get new routes, explore uncharted waters, discover hidden treasures.
And the exciting thing is we live in a time where knowledge is everywhere. Libraries, experts, endless opportunities to learn and grow. It's all right there.
So how do we tap into all of that?
Start with your passions. What are you genuinely curious about? What lights you up? Could be a new language, a skill, a whole field of study.
It's about finding the things that make you want to learn, like a kid in a candy store.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to push those boundaries. Challenge yourself. Get outside of your comfort zone. Talk to people who think differently. Embrace that whole lifelong learning thing.
All right, we've covered some serious ground here in this second part. We talked about the power of inaction, breaking down goals, the importance of that tribe, and the beauty of continuous learning.
We have. And as we get ready for the final part of our journey, there's one more essential element we need to talk